Welcome to the Brothers of Discussion. We just got finished watching Monday Night Raw, and we are here to record episode number 2 of our podcast where we just talk to you about anything wrestling, from WWE to PWE to AEW, all of it, you name it. We're here to talk about it.
Yeah, man. So, like John just said, we just got done watching Raw, and what was that? Monday night. It was June 30th episode, and pretty decent episode.
Lackluster. I mean, a lot was going on. The tournament at Evolution, the Women's Battle Royal. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually do with the women.
Yeah, because Evolution, it's going to be a big pay-per-view. Super excited because it's in Atlanta, somewhat close to where we are.
Yeah, about 2 hours away from here. Atlanta, that's where I went and saw WrestleMania at. That was a lot of fun.
Super cool.
Yeah, I got to see Triple H and The Undertaker. So that was a pretty cool match to be able to watch.
Didn't you saw something else you talk about all the time? Hell in a Cell? Or was that a Hell in a Cell match?
I think that was a Hell in a Cell match. I just can't remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, we've been real busy with wrestling, staying swamped.
Right.
Had a show last week here in town at SRP Park, the home of the Augusta Green Jackets baseball team. Fantastic show, fantastic performance from the guys as always, and the women.
Of course.
Amanda out there giving it to D'Angelo.
Oh,
and
man.
Let me tell y'all, that was a fun match for me because I got to referee that match, and that was interesting. But that dang Aaron Barry, he puts his hands on me again, and we're going to have issues.
The inside scoop here on the Brothers of Discussion, folks. I mean, coming from the people involved. Cam is a referee for PWE. So that's awesome. We love talking about it. Love talking about what was going on. Main event there was Shawn Legacy versus Anthony
Henry from AEW. So we had WWE ID prospect Shawn Legacy versus AEW's own Anthony Henry.
And Shawn Legacy came out on top.
Yeah, we saw last month Anthony Henry show up at PWE and take out Shawn Legacy after his wonderful match with Rob Killjoy that we told you all about.
Oh yeah.
Just to just leave a mark on a match that was so good and just mess it up by interfering that way. It was horrible, but I'm glad Shawn was able to pull through, kind of get his payback for it.
Yeah. And then other matches included a 5-man scramble.
Yeah, big TJ.
That, I'll be honest, didn't really get to view too much. I was helping volunteer, taking tickets. But what happened really during that match?
I got to watch that match, and we see everybody come out, and everybody get to shine and talk on the microphone for a minute. And
I remember that. I remember hearing everybody coming out and talking their stuff, how they're all the best.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Normal wrestling guy things.
Right.
But it was great. You had Rob Killjoy in that match. We just saw Rob Killjoy with Shawn Legacy.
Rob Killjoy. Aaron Barry was in that match.
Yeah, Aaron Barry comes in and is just the meanest son of a gun alive. TJ Era. I always just call him TJ. I'm sorry, guys. We see him in this match. So many greats. And they put on a pretty good match for an opening match for the show.
Yeah.
Got to see Truck come out, and I love Truck. He's the new ring announcer for PWE, and he's just such a blast.
Yeah.
To be around.
Really cool guy there that does the ring announcements and introduces everybody. And then we had a tag team match with Step Friends defending their tag titles against
the Moody's. And I love when the Step Friends come out. Let's go.
They're so good.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I'm loving watching PWE. They're exciting. There's something different here in Augusta, and it's something with a hometown feel. It's
awesome.
Yeah.
especially like just being in a larger venue like that. I mean, now full disclosure, they didn't exactly sell out the house.
No, of course not.
But the fact that they're performing in that stadium alone is, just showing how dedicated these fans are, and these promoters such as Cowboy are to putting on a great show for fans.
Yeah, and it also shows the support of the city as well that are behind it. That no, there's not 5,000 people in there like there is for a Green Jackets stadium, a Green Jackets game, but they're still willing to help out and put on these shows to help give our community something different.
Right. And it's awesome. It was an amazing experience. And the next show is going to be
July 12th
12th at
at
the
Savannah River Brewing Company.
and that's going to be a long event, real big, just celebratory, 4th of July bash kind of event, where we're gonna have some live bands out there and just a lot of really cool summer fest.
Yeah, this is Summerfest 2. Come out July 12th to Savannah River Brewing Company for Summerfest 2 beginning at 12 p.m. Also featuring music from Jimmy Randell. I'm, I'm assuming that's how you say it. It's Randall or Randell, one of the two. Um, I've heard the guy sing. He's fantastic. So come out, listen to some music by him. It's an all day event. This event is also going to benefit Veterans for Clean Water.
Because something that PWE, in my opinion, should advertise more. 10% of every ticket that they sell goes to a charity at their events. And so this one, remind the audience one more time what charity it's going to.
Oh, it's going to Veterans for Clean Water.
So if you want to help support veterans with clean water, which I know you do, come out and buy a ticket from PWE. 10% of all proceeds. So
Yeah.
they donate 10% of all ticket sales to charity.
Yeah, and this charity is actually close to heart for PWE because our own truck, our ring announcer, he actually works for this nonprofit. And this money is not going to his pocket. This money is going to help him support these veterans and and give back to our community yet again. And that's what PWE is all about, is giving back to the community.
But that's what wrestling and independent wrestling in general really is all about. I know we're plugging PWE here a lot, but there's tons of local events and other local promotions that are doing the same exact kind of things. And you may not be local to Augusta if you're listening to this, but just check out and see, wherever you have wrestling, because you will be surprised at how much out there and available.
Even if you're pretty sure, like 99% sure there's not wrestling in your community, go check.
Right.
Because I promise you, there's wrestling somewhere close to you.
And without a doubt. And
we're not talking $100 a ticket to go to a show, guys. We're talking about 15, 20 bucks to go help support your local guys here that are just trying to make a living and entertain everybody.
And it really ranges. I mean, there's all kinds of different matches. You can find lucha matches. You can find places like PWE, IWE. I know they do the little people wrestling from time to time. I mean,
micro wrestling.
Micro wrestling. It's all over the place. It's not just the big leagues and the big names.
Here in Augusta, we've also got Viral Pro Wrestling, which is a pretty big promotion.
Of course, yep.
So always glad to plug them.
And we're always glad to plug whoever. So if you're a promoter and want to, be, talked about on our podcast, please.
You know who I want to talk about? And that's WrestleMerica up in Forsyth, Georgia, right outside of Atlanta.
Okay, shout out. We might tag you, WrestleMerica.
Yeah,
we're talking about you, but
they're doing fantastic. I went to their last show, almost a packed house in this gymnasium. I mean, hundreds of people. The fans couldn't have been more into it. And that's what I was telling you earlier tonight when we were watching Raw. I love when the fans get into the show. It makes it much better for me. I know that takes away from some people, but I love it. Everybody feeds off of each other, and the energy and excitement is there. Go to their show. They put on a fantastic show. So anybody close to there, I highly recommend it. I know. I think I talked about it a little bit in the last show. The title that they have, where if you don't win in 10 minutes, there's not a winner in the first 10 minutes,
You did
then
talk
it
about this.
goes to a fan decision, and the fans vote on who is the champion, if the champion retains or loses. And the title changes on a fan, can change on a fan vote. And that happened. It was cool.
Which is super cool. Um, let's talk about some other wrestling because King and Queen of the Ring has happened since the last time we spoke.
Yes, it has.
We just watched Raw. There was a SmackDown after
So,
King and Queen of the Ring.
so I just asked you, what do you think about Cody winning?
Hate it, hate it. I mean, I'll be just completely vocal. I'll be a hater. I'm just, but I'm just another one of those hater voices on the internet. Like Cody, don't come at me. Like whatever. But I do not. Randy should have won it.
See,
Um,
I'm gonna agree and disagree. I'm not gonna say I hated it.
well,
I don't hate Cody. I actually really like Cody. I'm a Cody fanboy, but
I'm not.
but I really wanted Randy to win that match. I wanted to see Randy and Cena one more time.
I wanted I wanted Randy to win the match just because he's never been King of the Ring, and that'd be an accolade for him
Yeah,
to add on
yeah.
to his career.
Agreed.
And Cody's just been so shoved down our throats. Like I was tired of Cody Rhodes before he won at WrestleMania. Like
Yeah, I no, I'm not gonna disagree there. I am kind of getting a little tired of Cody.
and like I'm not gonna lie, all these top guys like are getting a
It's
little
getting
stale for me. I don't know what it is. No, and again, full disclosure, we're not in the writing room, so we're not those guys on the internet trying to, tell WWE or these, different promotions or people how to run their show.
I'm just telling you how I feel about it, how it comes across to me.
Exactly. And if you have opposite opinions or the same opinions, let us know in the comments, like how you, if you agree, disagree, because it's just like, in particular, Jade Cargill winning Queen of the Ring. Oh my goodness. You saw it coming and you know exactly the path they're about to take.
And I'm not for it.
Cargill's about to take it off of Tiffy, and then Naomi's going to cash in. And now Naomi's going to be Queen of the Ring, or Naomi's going to be champ at the end of SummerSlam.
Let me see, and I'm not for it
Like,
because I'm not a fan of Jade. She doesn't. I don't. To me, she hadn't earned the opportunity. She's a terrible wrestler. She botches everything. Just everything she does. She's been there for a few years now, and you can't tell me one like 4-star match she's had, let alone 5.
when it comes to her, I've never particularly liked her. Her character to me is just can't get behind it. A storm, like, but everybody has their own opinions. Like how we talked about last week. I'm a huge fan of the Wyatts, and I didn't get to see SmackDown, but Cameron, if you want to talk about what happened to them, I heard about it, and it's just, ugh.
So the Wyatts are having their match, and every other tag team there decides that they're going to come out and interfere with the match, yet again, ruining a chance for the Wyatts to do anything. And it was just a huge disappointment. They've teased the Wyatts over and over again and then done nothing with them. It's just been enough to make me mad.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that SmackDown. I didn't watch it. I heard there was a good last woman standing match
Yeah,
with
there was. There
Tiffy
was
and
with
I.
Tiffy and Naya. Yeah, it was pretty good. But
What else happened there? Honestly, I'm kind of surprised Tiffy.
honestly, I can't remember, to be honest. I'm not. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not as big into the women's wrestling as a lot of people are, and it's not a knock to the women. I think it has a lot to do with the women's wrestling from back in the day that I just all that it was about was just something for the people to ogle, and that wasn't my thing. So like, I'm not about it. I don't know. I know you're gonna disagree with me, and that's okay.
It's
You like, and I'm not saying I don't like some of the women wrestlers. They're cool. I like their character and all. I like Becky Lynch. I like Liv Morgan. I like Rhea Ripley. But
It's definitely different than it used to be.
But
we can get into that. We can definitely discuss that.
It's because there's some women like the women I just named that are so good. But then there's other women in there like Jade Cargill that can't wrestle to save their life, and yet she's getting pushed big time. And Alexa Bliss is sitting there doing nothing, and she's one of the best wrestlers on the card.
Yeah, they're really messing up some opportunities.
They sent her to Saudi Arabia for a 1 minute backstage segment with Charlotte Flair to make it make sense.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where things are going, obviously, with all that, especially the Alexa Bliss Charlotte Flair angle. But while we're talking about women's wrestling, Evolution is coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Huge pay-per-view. Going to be a lot going on there.
I'm gonna watch it. I want to see I want to see the battle royal that they have. See what women come back.
That was just announced. Battle royal for a championship match at Clash in Paris, and then also announced on Raw tonight. We had Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, who is now her tag team champion partner. Didn't necessarily like that it was just handed to her, but
yeah, Liv got hurt, so they ended up giving it to Roxanne Perez.
Is now also officially a member of the Judgment Day.
Yep, installed tonight. They took a vote,
and the Judgment Day also won the tag team championships at the start of the night.
Absolutely, they did.
So they're dripping in gold, except for Gunther's, pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool for them.
Now that they kicked Carlito out and he's not there no more, they can say the whole Judgment Day has gold because Carlito wasn't ever going to get nothing.
So that's pretty interesting what they got going on there. They talked. Gunther came out. There was a lot of whatever. I'm not a fan of this Goldberg match coming up.
Oh, see, and I am. I love Goldberg. That's a nostalgia thing for me from when I was a kid, being able to watch Goldberg in the streak.
Yeah.
WCW, and nobody could beat him.
But Cam is a little bit older than me, so I mean, he experienced wrestling in a different, light than I have. So
he just likes to point out the fact I'm old. That's
it. Well, I'm just saying that because whenever I was watching wrestling, Goldberg, I mean, he really wasn't a huge part. Like he was kind of around, but he was already a legend in that way, because I was watching in mid 2000s, like 2010s era.
Yeah, he was already kind of out of there by that.
He was kind of already, but then whenever I got back into WWE, and
he came back,
and Bray Wyatt was my guy, and the Fiend held the Universal Championship, and then got squashed and buried by Goldberg at SummerSlam. Like that made that kind of cemented just. I'm not a Goldberg guy, but I'm also not a Gunther guy.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier too. We talk a lot of wrestling a lot of the time. But I don't blame Goldberg for that. I blame Vince McMahon for that. That was his decision, and I think it was a terrible decision.
I mean, regardless, and once again, not trying to start no beef, just voicing my absolute opinion. I don't really care about either of those guys, and mad respect to them. But as far as storyline goes, it's not who I want to be seeing. It's not a.
I mean, I get that.
But for some reason, Gunther is and has been champion for over 80% of his time in WWE, and there's a reason for it.
Whether it was Intercontinental Champion or now the heavyweight champion, world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a reason for it. I will
he's good.
Absolute props to him. We can talk about the John Cena CM Punk match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
That happened at Night of Champions.
Everybody getting involved at the end of the match.
Oh my goodness.
We see that Seth Rollins and his goons, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, come out. We see that Penta comes out to help save the day, but he dances for like 45 seconds to a minute at the top of the ramp before he ever decides to come down.
Reminded me of whenever Jeff Hardy did that while somebody was kicking Matt Hardy's ass in the ring, and he's just hold on,
flailing his arms around, dancing in the black light and going,
give me a minute, bro. I'm gonna come save you.
Wait, let's talk about the move of the night at Night of Champions. And I think we can all agree that this was the move of the night, the hit of the night, the
Oh my goodness.
the blast from the past.
Oh. As a referee yourself, I'm sure it,
When we see is it Charles Robinson
Oh,
come running down the half-mile ramp that they've
Man.
got set up for this man. He's gassed. I don't know how any wrestler wrestled the whole night after that whole entrance.
We've seen him do that before. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was at WrestleMania in the
Years ago.
Yeah, but
he comes booking it. And about time he makes it ringside, just past where the barricades open up. John Cena with the shoulder tackle heard around the world.
My goodness.
He yeeted Charles Robinson into another universe with this shoulder tackle. And Charles is no young man. Like,
yeah,
he
went flying.
I felt bad for the man, but you know what? Props for him to put his body on the line.
Put it all the way on the line and on the clothes. Like, ooh. That was a pretty insane move there. For me, my genuine opinion on that match is kind of getting tired of the false finishes. Like finishes don't really mean too much good anymore. Does that make sense? Like finishers don't really feel finishy.
But that's the thing. You don't know when it's going to end.
I know, but like
that's the whole point.
That's
what they want.
I'm not.
That's what they want. You're aggravated and you feel some kind of way about it. Like,
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Like back in the day, nobody's kicking out of the AA.
So I want to
or the GTS, and both of them did it 3 times. You know what I mean?
I'm going to let people in on a little secret.
Uh-oh, wrestling secrets from the brothers of discussion.
Fourth wall here.
Here we go.
And I'm just going to say 2 words, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say. And if you know, you know.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't.
I had to.
Emotional manipulation. And that's all I'm going to say. So close that door. Move on.
Listen, I'm not with that. It was too much in that match for me. I don't know. We need to talk about Solo Sikoa, new U.S. champion.
I know. So I want him to hate that, but at the same time, I love it. Like, I love Solo, but I love Jacob too. Like, I can't believe he lost.
It's definitely giving a lot of life to this storyline right now, but a lot of life, like more family, like we saw at the very end there with the surprise debut of Tala Tonga.
Yeah, all right. So I could never get all these names right because the dang bloodline has turned into the dang NWO now, and everybody's a member of the bloodline.
It's ridiculous.
You got people all over the world members of the bloodline.
Right.
So can you give us a rundown of who is in the current iteration of the bloodline?
Obviously, you have Solo Sikoa, and then you have JC Mateo as his right-hand man. And then Tama Tonga just came back.
Yeah, he made his surprise return.
Made his surprise return as well. And then Tonga Loa, Tama Tonga's brother.
Which he's not back yet.
He's not back yet. And then the surprise debut of Tala Tonga. So you got Tala Tonga, Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, and
Solo.
Tama Tonga.
There it is.
There it is.
Man, there's so many of them to keep up with.
Oh, boy.
Then we got Roman, Jimmy, Jay, Jacob, the 2.
Right.
You've got the Usos' little brother that hadn't been on there yet. Like, there's so many of them there.
And then, yeah. But it's really cool to see what they got going on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm loving it. It's a storyline I never saw coming a few years ago.
Right.
I'm glad we got. Like, it seemed original and genuine. You can't just create something. You can't create a dynasty like that overnight. Like that's decades in the making.
And it's crazy to think that like their dynasty at this point is essentially like this family just beefing over titles.
Yeah.
You know, like be it university like world championships or not, but like
Yeah, the US title, WWE
like everybody
title.
has their disputes or arguments with their sister or their brother or like their family, but theirs are over championships.
Yeah.
And so like regardless, your family's doing great.
And,
Like,
and their arguments lead to their family having sanctioned fist fights.
right.
All right.
Yeah. I mean,
Samoans fighting. All right. Like your family's doing okay.
but I mean that's
Y'all
their
ain't-
culture, man. I mean like straight up like Samoan culture, like it's not something that I've ever experienced myself, but like it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Apparently.
Like, I don't know. It's interesting. Just a lot going on. I wonder where our OTC is. Hopefully, maybe he'll be back soon.
Yeah, I've been wondering the same thing.
We don't know. But it was also announced on Raw tonight that LA Knight would be fighting Seth Rollins at Saturday night's main event. Here,
I'm excited for it.
Here semi-locally to us in Atlanta, Georgia. But yeah, make sure you guys are in the comments telling us your wrestling opinions. I know in our last episode we specifically mentioned that we need to do our homework and watch Shawn Michaels Ric Flair at WrestleMania 20 and the Swamp match.
Did you watch those?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't get to watch them yet either.
So we will get to those in episode 3.
Yeah, sorry, I got really busy with PWE last week. So actually we're gonna do episode 4. So speaking of episode 3 next week, we have an announcement that I think we're okay with making now. That officially for episode 3, we will have on next Tuesday night James the Cowboy Hunter, the owner and promoter of PWE Phoenix Wrestling Experience, here to tell us a little bit about his experience with the wrestling world, how he got started, where he's coming from, and why he started PWE, what PWE is all about, and how you can support your local wrestling community. So excited to have him on next week.
And tell us a little bit more about Summerfest coming up. So that'll be awesome. So be sure to tune in to episode 3. We will be featuring Cowboy James Hunter. Awesome time. It'll be, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the chat box or the comment section of this video so we can know like what kind of questions to ask him. Because obviously we're not exactly journalists, but we're doing our best to bring you the insider scoop, like the insider knowledge on what's going on with wrestling. So if there's anything you can think of or want to know from James Hunter, I mean, a man who runs his own wrestling promotion pretty much.
And to go with that, there will be another announcement made next week here on the Brothers of Discussion podcast that's going to revolutionize the way that we operate here.
Right. So if you already like the content, be ready for more, be ready for, more action and just a lot. So stay tuned, make sure you're sharing and, watching what we got coming for you, because we're going to be doing our best to bring you the best.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. So this is the point of the podcast where we like to play around and do a little bit of games or whatever. This week we're going to be relying on ChatGPT, fantastic tool, AI, where Cameron is going to start by asking ChatGPT just to give us some wrestling trivia. And he'll ask me a question, I'll ask him a question, but once again, if you guys want, you can throw some stuff into the comments, specific wrestling trivia or games or, different things that you think we can do, just to have a little bit of fun with wrestling. Because I've got a lot of different ideas of different things we can do. And our original pilots of our live streams, if you're a dedicated fan, you saw those. We played, I think it was, what was it called? Oh, we had a name for it. The Spice game we played.
Oh, I forget the name of that.
Yeah, it wasn't like Hot or Not or something.
Yeah, I think it was Hot or Not.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And where the loser had to eat a hot pepper and cut a promo. But we're not doing none of that right now.
No, that's not happening tonight.
Yeah, that's not happening tonight.
But maybe soon.
Yeah.
Maybe soon we'll get back into it.
We'll do a little bit of wrestling trivia. And if you guys have any obscure wrestling trivia you want to share with us, please do, and we can, address it on the podcast.
All right, I'm going to start off.
All right, here we go. All right. So wait, how many questions do you have?
All right, I'm going to start off.
See how many
I'm going to ask you 5 questions.
Okay.
And then you ask me 5 questions.
Gotcha.
All right. So whoever gets the most right wins.
Okay. Out of 5.
Out of 5.
Love it.
Question number 1. In 2016, which WWE superstar made history by being the first woman to main event WrestleMania?
Oh, Lord.
Which women, I would say.
Okay, see, this really helps because I didn't know where this was going and I thought I was going to miss something. It was Becky, Charlotte, Ronda. And the answer is Becky Lynch because she won the match. But yeah, triple threat.
That's your answer?
That's my answer.
Bro, you were so close.
What?
You were so close. You said Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda.
Yeah.
It was Becky, Charlotte, and Sasha
Banks. Get out of here. Oh, no. You're joking.
No, that was
You're
it.
joking.
And Becky wins triple threat. Yeah, absolutely.
When was the Ronda match? Because that was a match too.
Yeah.
Becky 2 belts.
Yeah, but that was later.
All right.
That was later.
Make sure you're playing along in the comments too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because man, that was such a tricky scene.
Good first opener question.
You suck.
Ooh, here's a good one. A retired title. Who was the first WWE Universal Champion winning the title at SummerSlam in 2016?
First Universal Champion. Finn Balor.
You got it.
Yes.
And he had to relinquish it the next night.
And you know what's absolutely crazy? I only freshly knew that because it was just said on Raw tonight. It was literally just like briefly mentioned.
So he's 0-1.
Yeah. Okay,
right.
Here we go.
He's 1-1. Sorry,
yeah.
1-1.
1-1.
In what year did Ron?
Oh, no.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just telling you now. That's going to be a no from me. I can either take the L on that point or we can re-roll that. Because what year is not going to work for me?
Which WWE event is known for the tagline, "The grandest stage of them all"?
WrestleMania.
All right. That was an easy one. I figured I couldn't throw
that was a toss-up. Who would won, baby? Let's go.
Who did The Undertaker face in his last WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 33?
Oh, no. Oh, no. No. Because he fought Goldberg in one of those. It was one of those close ones. But it wasn't Goldberg. Was it Goldberg?
You tell me when you're ready.
Man, you suck. Wasn't Bray Wyatt. They did fight at WrestleMania, but that wasn't 33. You suck. Goldberg. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Roman.
Was it Roman?
Reigns.
He fought Roman at WrestleMania? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I might not have seen that one.
Yeah. Roman Reigns. All right, so what is that? That's 4?
Yeah, I'm 2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right.
Let's see if I can go positive.
All right, here we go. Last one. Who won the inaugural women's Royal Rumble match in 2018?
Ronda Rousey.
Nah. I'll give you one more guess. I'll give you another guess.
Ah, I don't know. It wasn't Rousey?
Mm-mm.
She's won a Rumble, though. Right?
I believe so.
Wasn't Charlotte Flair. It wasn't Bliss. Wasn't Sasha Banks. Wasn't Bailey. Who was it? Was it one of them?
You like women's wrestling too, and I figured you'd know this.
Was it one of them? All right, at least give me a
No, it
hint.
wasn't one of them.
Okay, I was about to say, but like, I was gonna say, give me the hint of have I named her yet?
No.
Okay. All right, so we're really narrowing it down. Oh man.
Come on. The clock is ticking.
Oh man. I'm really struggling right now. Who won
10,
the women's
9,
the women's first Royal
8,
Rumble?
7, 6,
It wasn't like Trish.
4,
No.
3,
I
2.
don't know.
I'll tell you this, and this will give it away. In the same year, the men's Royal Rumble was won by Shinsuke Nakamura.
That doesn't give shit away.
Asuka.
Oh. Oh.
The two Japanese WWE
that
stars
hurts.
both won in the
Oh,
same year.
that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, you didn't even
That
mention
hurts.
her.
That
Didn't
hurts.
even mention her.
That hurts so bad.
You didn't even get honorable mention on your
that
list.
hurts. I'm so sorry,
You
Oscar.
gave Trish Stratus honorable mention on
Listen.
your list and not Asuka.
Oscar, I'm sorry. Okay, all right. So I went 2 and 3.
2 and 3. So all I got to do is get 3 right to win.
I'm gonna start you up with a toss up.
Okay.
Okay. Who ended the Undertaker's undefeated WrestleMania streak?
Oh, that's an easy one. You just gave me a layup right there.
I told you. I told you I would because I told you I would.
Rock. Yes.
Okay. For brownie points, can you name the year? Can you name the WrestleMania? And can you name the streak?
At the time, he made it 21 and 1.
Okay. Nice.
WrestleMania 31.
Okay. What year? This isn't part of it. You've already nailed it, but this is how tuned in Cam is. He's gonna be good with these trivia
trying to
questions.
think. I forgot what year WrestleMania it was this year. Give me a hint. What year WrestleMania was it this year?
It was 42 this year.
It was 42
No,
this
it was
year.
41 this year.
41 this
40,
year.
42 coming up.
So 2015.
14.
14. That was close. Dang it. All right, so I'm 1 and 0. I'm winning.
Okay. See, because that was such a toss up, here comes a good one.
All right, here
Are
we
you
go.
ready? Here comes a good one. What was the name of the annual tournament held by New Japan Pro Wrestling, NJPW, that often features AEW and independent stars?
Forbidden Door. No.
Full disclosure, I didn't know this, but Cam's really, I'm trying to stop with this one. But I didn't know it, but I've seen
Forbidden Door is.
I've seen this word. I mean, but it's not what this says. So.
Not the answer we're looking for.
And I will say, I have seen this answer like in a headline. Like I've heard about this event. So you probably have too, because you're more tuned in than I.
And when I hear it, I'm going to be so mad.
You probably will be.
I know it. I just can't think of it. Go ahead.
G1 Climax.
No, but yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Golly, that's all right. All right. Go ahead. What else you got?
So you're 1-1.
1-1. Cause see, I gave him all WWE stuff, and he wants to just throw stuff all around the world at me.
You see? Okay. Here. Hmm. Who were the three women who main evented WrestleMania 35, marking the first time women headlined the event?
It's not. It's not true.
That's the question. Who were the three women who main evented WrestleMania 35, making
That would
the
be.
first time women headlined the main event?
That would be. Is that the same question I just asked you?
That's what I thought, but it's a different answer because guess what?
Hold on. Hold on. I have it right here.
I'm asking you because it's what the answer I gave.
Mine says in 2016.
Which WrestleMania is that?
Uh,
Because it says WrestleMania 35.
14 was 31, so 2 years after that, so 33. 2 years before that, so that's wrong. But the women are right. It's Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda. Is the answer you have.
Okay, hold on. Google that because that's what I thought was like the event you're referring to. I don't quite remember. Like, did they headline? We're getting to the bottom of it, folks. And after we're done with your trivia, we'll be done. We'll be ready to wrap up.
Okay, guys, I have to admit that John got one right earlier that my chat GPT was just wrong.
I'm 3-2, baby.
So he's actually 3-2. So,
yeah.
So I'm giving the same answer. So I got that one right too.
Whoa, I was
So
3-1.
2-1.
All right, fine. You're 2.
Just say.
Wow. Wow.
One more right for a tie, 2 for a win.
Yep. So, if you can name me 4 of the 8, no, I'll say 5, more than half, than the 8 members of Nexus. If you can name all 8, I mean, brownie points.
I won't be able to name all 8. I can tell you that. Wade Barrett,
Yep.
Keith Slater, David Ortonga.
Oh, Tonga, but yeah.
Ortonga.
I'll give it to you. Yep, that's 3.
Oh, what was the dude's name? He changed his name later. He looked like Batista. God, I can't think of his name. Titus O'Neil. No, he wasn't part of it.
Nope.
That's not who I thought looked like Batista, by the way. Darren Young.
Yep, there you go.
That's 4.
That's 4. Can you get one more? Honestly,
Ryan.
Honestly,
is there a Ryan on there?
So you're missing one big name that it does specify was a member briefly, and you're missing another.
Not the original. Are you saying the original
yes.
Nexus? Not John Cena.
Yes,
Okay.
No, not John Cena. And you're also missing another name that I remember. You're missing 2, and then like the other ones, it's. I mean, I don't.
Alex Riley.
Mm-mm.
He was the Miz's protege.
He's not on this list.
Okay. I don't know who I'm missing.
All right, so you giving up?
Yeah, I got 4. I got 4, so I got the question right.
No, I said 5.
No, you said 4.
Yeah, and then I adjusted.
No. I was going with the standard of 4. That's why I gave up.
Yeah, well then don't give up because I said you have to get more than half. 4 is only half. You have to get more than half.
Oh my goodness.
No. And there's one big name, the one that it specifies briefly. It's a big name.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I gave you the hint. You got there. Yeah. You got there. So we're tied now.
Yeah.
And you got.
Who were the other 3?
So it was Wade Barrett was the leader. Daniel Bryan was in there briefly. David Otunga, you got. Heath Slater, you got. Justin Gabriel.
Justin Gabriel, yeah.
That was who I remembered. Michael Tarver.
Yeah.
I don't really remember him. Darren Young or Fred Rosser. Fred Rosser.
Yeah.
And then Skip Sheffield. Oh, aka Ryback. I didn't even see that down
That's
there.
what I was trying to think of. I said Goldberg.
Yeah, Ryback.
Yeah, Ryback. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
So that was really 3 that you were missing out on because, like I said, Justin Gabriel, Michael Tarver, and Darren Young. I don't really remember them, but
I remember Darren Young because he was in a tag team with Titus O'Neil as the primetime players. So I got one more question coming to me. So I've tied it up. Yep. This is for the win. This couldn't have gone better.
Right.
This is for the win, ladies and gentlemen.
In 2016, whenever Raw and SmackDown rosters were split, who were made the official commissioners or GMs of their respective brands? Like where they pretty much first introduced the draft. I think it wasn't that in 2016?
Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon.
Nope.
No.
You answered that confident, and I will let you. Since this is for the win, I will let you get a mulligan on that. Wait, hold on. Okay, wait. Whoa. You were right with commissioner. I digress.
So I got it right.
I was specifically trying to ask about the general manager.
But you said commissioner.
So
and so I got it right.
but for because I asked my question wrong, but for bonus points, who were the general managers?
Mick Foley.
Because this was the question I was trying to ask. I messed up and gave you the win there, but because
Mick Foley was one of them.
Yep, he was.
Of
what? Mick Foley was
general manager of Raw. Who was the general manager of SmackDown? Eric Bischoff? No. Couldn't tell you. Teddy Long. Couldn't tell you.
Daniel Bryan.
See,
I wish I had asked that question. See, I wish I had asked that, but you got me.
Yeah.
You got me good.
Well, so trivia win goes to me for the win today.
That's right.
And you're lucky there wasn't much on the line today because normally there could have been a hot pepper promo coming right after this.
Or something. But make sure you leave in the comments, other general trivia and stuff, or suggest different games or things that we can do, just to make talking about wrestling a little bit more fun. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap on up. I want to say thank you guys again for listening to the first and second episodes here of the Brothers of Discussion.
If you haven't yet, go on Facebook and YouTube, like, share, subscribe, follow, all the good things. Comment.
Yep.
And tell your friends.
Right.
Share your experiences with us. We'd love to have others come on here. If you know any wrestlers in the area that'd like to come on, talk with us and tell us about what they have going on, about shows they have coming up, promote themselves. We'd love to have you, hear from you.
Because once again, we will have James, the Cowboy Hunter, on with us on episode 3 next week. So we're starting off big. We're starting off strong here at the Brothers of Discussion. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope y'all are ready for some more. So
until next Tuesday, this has been
the Brothers of Discussion.